Hey guys, it's Jetpack again, and this time I designed the interior for my tiny home based on Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. If you haven't seen my other videos, I've been spinning a wheel and building a tiny home in The Sims that is inspired by that Nancy Drew game. When I landed on Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon, I knew exactly what I was going to do. So the concept is, some eccentric person purchased one of the cars from Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon and they repurposed it as a museum. So I'm dividing the train car into two separate areas. The portion on the right is going to be sleeper cars and a bathroom, but the other portion of the build is simply a look, don't touch sort of museum scenario. You know, when you're touring old homes and they have the velvet rope where you don't go past because they have historical furniture, artifacts, etc. They don't want you sitting on the furniture. I knew I wanted to use blue in at least one of the rooms because I pulled inspiration from Jake Hurley's train car in the game. Even though this isn't a build of the game, it's just inspired by the game. And I know this whole build is not accurate historically. This is for fun. And I also started out with hardwood in the passenger cars, but the more I thought about it, the more it would realistically have carpet. In real life, and the majority of my builds in The Sims, I am going to go for hardwood. So it was really hard for me to keep this. And then shifting gears to the museum side of things, I added this rug walkway for people to go through. And the first portion I did was the kitchen. So I added a prep table, a fridge, or an ice box probably would be more realistic. Some storage, an oven, and then lots of clutter. Now these would be separated in cars if it were a real train, but the concept is this is a walkthrough museum and you get to see segments of the train in one car. So I'm combining the kitchen with the bar car, with where passengers would sit during the day when they're not in their personal cars. I also added this little dining table to signify the dining car. Again, sticking with the blues to really pull from Jake Hurley's car. That's just my favorite car in the game, so I just kept pulling blues. And of course, chandeliers, very much inspired by that scene in the game where the chandelier shakes. If you watched my build of this, I built the train car and I had a bunch of tiles left over, so I threw this sort of shipping container off to the side here, and I thought what better than to make it a gift shop, because you know every museum has to have a gift shop. So I took a shelf and cluttered it up with some trains and some dolls, a little nod to Camille from Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. I also added some cross-stitch items from Debug, and I do not know what I was thinking with this wallpaper, so forgive me for that, but it changes in the end. But that's it. That's my tiny home inspired by Nancy Drew, Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. This setting is gorgeous and perfect for this build. I would love to see this museum in real life. What do you think? Would you go here? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. If you want to take a stab at designing this too, maybe do a different concept, I'm going to upload it to the gallery under GoobaandJetpack. If you try to tackle this challenge, post it, tag us. I would love to see what you come up with. Check out my other Nancy Drew Sims builds and leave a comment letting me know what you hope the wheel lands on next. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!